Today on Veggies in Disguise, I'm going to show 3 recipes utilizing spaghetti squash. Spaghetti squash and marinara sauce, spaghetti squash mostaccioli, and spaghetti squash lasagna. To start, you want to preheat your oven to 425 and then cut your spaghetti squash. Most recipes will have you cut the spaghetti squash horizontally. I prefer cutting mine in rounds. You'll want to prepare a pan with parchment paper and then maybe even a little bit of oil. Place your spaghetti squash on the pan. And put it in the oven. And you're going to let this bake for 40 minutes. Oh, and I forgot the most important part of cooking, my hat. So while the spaghetti squash is cooking, you want to scramble 1 egg, add the ricotta cheese, a half a cup of mozzarella, and 1 teaspoon of the salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of the ground pepper. And just mix it together. Spaghetti squash is finished, and just start teasing it with a fork. And what a cool vegetable. Look at that. It looks just like spaghetti. An important part of preparing spaghetti squash is to get all the liquid out. And for years I made this mistake where I love to make spaghetti squash with marinara sauce, just like spaghetti and marinara sauce, and then it would get really runny. And that's because there's so much fluid in this spaghetti squash. So just get a strainer, paper towel, and just push down and keep working all the liquid out. So the first recipe was just simply spaghetti squash and marinara, much like you just regular spaghetti, and pour the marinara on top. You can make, your own fresh marinara sauce, but part of this YouTube channel for cooking is just to make things simple as well. So that's the marinara sauce, or you could put mozzarella cheese on top and then put it in the oven at a high broil for about 5 minutes. So it's time, now that we got all the liquid out of the spaghetti squash, it's time to mix it with the ricotta. There are 2 reasons why I'm incorporating Veggies in Disguise in my YouTube channel. First, I have some patients that have really poor eating habits who feel like they have to eat steamed vegetables and boiled chicken to be healthy. And that's just not sustainable. Food is one of those pleasures in life. And secondly, I have been with my boyfriend for 8 years, and let's just say he's not fond of vegetables at all. And since I love to cook, and it's important for me that I share my meals with my significant other, I've come up with creative ideas to make them yummy. So let's combine the ingredients. So we're going to put about 1.5 cups or half the jar of the marinara sauce on the bottom of a cooking dish. This dish could be like a 8 by 11, 9 by 9. Put the spaghetti squash on top. And just spread it out evenly. Put the rest of the marinara sauce on top. Put a cup of mozzarella cheese. And make sure it's evenly distributed. Put 1/3 of the cup of the Parmesan cheese. And then bake it in a preheated oven at 375 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes. And now the spaghetti squash lasagna is completed. So there you have 3 meals in one. We will be launching a new YouTube video every Wednesday and Friday at 3 p.m. And I'll be available for any questions you have or suggestions for future videos.